Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
Yeah, man.
And how are you?
How are you now?
How are you now?
Not so bad, and you?
Oh, good. I guess. As good as you can be.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really get any better.
It's true. It's true.
You know what? I've legitimately thought that a few times recently. Like, I don't know, I've just been in a good mood here and there, which is kind of weird for
have?
me.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You'd never know it by living with me.
I'm just kidding.
But, yeah, like a few times just like laying out on the back lawn or sitting out on the back patio when it's nice days, I've just been like, oh, you know what? Probably doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah.
Even though, like, it could. Like, somebody could be feeding me grapes and, like, giving me a pedicure. I've never had one, but I assume that's nice. Somebody could be, like, bringing me spritzers and,
yeah,
fine champagnes and, delicious strawberries and stuff like that.
Sure. I guess this is supposed to be me doing
like,
this.
How much happier would that actually make me?
I don't know.
Probably not that much. Honestly, like, I got my corned beef. I got my dark necessities. Like, I got a boom mic now.
That does help.
Things are they're looking up.
Yeah, we are lucky in many ways. I think the thing that all I really need to be happy is like, well, you, of course.
Yeah.
And, like health, right? And, the kid's got to be okay, right? But outside of that, it's like the sunshine and fruit and varieties of like cheeses.
Uh-huh.
And like a glass of wine and some music, and I think I'm all set,
Yeah, I think this, pandemic, this whole last year, because I think we just had like the year anniversary
we did.
Of lockdowns starting, which is kind of weird.
It's kind of weirded me out, yeah.
It's like, it's just taught us, man, like, you got to appreciate like what you have,
Yeah.
Got to be grateful.
Well, I mean,
it kind of sounds like bullshit, right? But like when I have done the things, when you get depressed and then somebody's like, hey, you should be grateful for what you got, like you got to put this in perspective.
Yeah.
And then like a few times people have told me, hey, you should try like gratitude journaling.
Yeah.
It actually works.
It does. It really does help.
But I don't do it. It's like the medicine is right there.
Isn't that always the way? The key is right there in the lock, Always.
Yeah, man.
Always.
Well, what are you all grateful for on this fine day? I'll wait.
Yeah.
What's that you say?
Uh-huh.
Another episode of Team Babe.
Good answer. Good answer.
I love it. I love you.
Well, I mean, like, we're back. We're back on the weekly Team Babe schedule.
Dude, we are so back.
It's not even funny.
That, like, I can't even think of something to say about it, but we are.
We're so back. We're front.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, it's like if you go far enough east, you're back in the west.
This is true. I mean, I think something about the year of the pandemic combined with other vague feelings of unease have led me back and around to the beginning of the circle that I started out on a really long time ago, and it's really strange to be back again.
Yeah, man. Well, It's like everywhere you go, then like there you are.
That's what they say. And it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
how you been?
Oh, me? Oh, you know me.
Killing the game.
Pretending to care.
Yeah, PTC.
Yeah.
It's like PMA and PTC.
And I'm on the program.
On the program. On the path.
It's probably more than 12 steps, though, to get back to really, like, caring.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably 125 steps.
1,200. We're slowly caring more and more.
Yeah. But all things said, I'm pretty good, like, I'm all right. I would love to lose like 10 or 15 pounds. Then I'd feel like really better.
Yeah.
But that's just fluff. That's just stuff and fluff, pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Pounds.
I mean,
whatnot.
You could do that in your sleep practically.
I'm so lazy, though. I am so lazy about that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it's too much trouble, I'll just keep the 15 pounds.
Well, that's interesting. So, with that as like, maybe like a guiding principle of your personality or your personality type or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, which character from Golden Girls would you say that you are?
Oh,
Are you still
gosh.
Blanche?
Well, I mean, I guess I'd have to say I'm Blanche in the bedroom, but I'm probably like Dorothy, really.
Dorothy in the boardroom, Blanche
Yeah.
in the bedroom?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what about let's take it to another level.
Yeah.
What about Sex and the City
Oh,
character?
wow. Gosh. Well,
Because obviously, like, I'm Carrie.
what?
Are you Mr. Big?
I thought you were Mr. Big. Maybe you're.
Hey man, don't be so heteronormative.
So true. I'm sorry. I do
Yeah.
apologize. I thought you were maybe that other guy from like True North or whatever that show was called. North
Yeah.
Face.
Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure. Thank you.
I can't remember. His name's like John or something like that.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were that guy. Making furniture and living your best hippie life and stuff.
Yeah, I have like a golden retriever.
Yeah. I see that. I see you more as that character than Mr. Big. He's a little too corporate, I think, for your style.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But you're funny like Mr. Big, where the other guy wasn't that funny,
I'm way funnier.
Yeah. You're way funnier than that John
Obviously,
guy.
I mean, Mr. Big didn't even have a goddamn podcast,
He's such a boomer.
It's not like just anybody it's not like just anybody can start one of these things. It's like you got there's a high bar.
I mean, there's got to be a great amount of talent for, you to have your own podcast.
Or else they don't even like issue you a copy of like GarageBand.
That's right.
They're just like, no.
You have to pre-qualify.
Yeah, we're taking out
comedy.
the audio narration tools or whatever the fuck. Like
That would be really funny if that was a thing. That would be so discriminatory.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, who gets to make that decision? Probably you.
Probably Siri.
Oh yeah.
The AI
especially when I have her set to like like Indian lady voice or whatever. Asian.
Yeah. She is very prim and proper, that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who am I from Sex and the City? Gosh, that's a good question. Well,
I mean, considering the laziness and stuff, like
right.
It doesn't really like jive with any of those characters, does it?
I don't really fit any of them. I mean, I'm probably naturally more of a Miranda than I'd like to be. Just like a straight up bitch. And like real hardcore about everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my natural inclination. But when I first watched the show, of course, I wanted to be Carrie because she had all the best clothes. But I don't think my personality is that at all.
Just hang out, smoke cigarettes, and write like a sex column, love and the.
Yeah, I could see myself doing that. Pretty much full time.
Yeah.
But she's too, I don't know, wishy-washy.
So maybe there's like a more current archetype. Like we recently started rewatching the HBO show Girls.
Yeah.
Since it's like the year of like rewatching things that you've already seen because we're all out of new entertainment, I guess.
Or you just can't think of anything new that sounds good?
Yeah.
That happens to us a lot.
Yeah. I mean, maybe somebody right now is like doing a re-listen to our podcast.
If you are, please tell me. I'd feel so good.
And they're making a podcast about it?
I don't think we're on that level yet. But someday.
But yeah, so anyway, who are you now from
Girls?
From Girls.
Well, I was going to say, just to backtrack, I think I am Carrie's friend, Stanley, is that his name? Her gay friend with the glasses. I might be that guy.
All I can think of is like Antonio, but
no,
it's
not that guy.
Not like that.
It's the bald guy.
Like the comedian guy.
Yeah.
The really snippy one though that has kind of like that shrill voice.
No, I was actually thinking of his partner.
Okay.
The one
Lewis?
Maybe that's
Lucifer,
something like that. Anyway,
Leonardo.
I kind of feel like I'm more of a gay man character, really, because I'm very judgy and I like fashion and I'm, I think I'm funny sometimes, and
God damn it.
Anyway, but in girls, who am I in girls? Oh my gosh, I probably that terrible English one.
What's her name? Jessa?
Yeah, Jessa.
Man. Yeah. Definitely not a Marnie.
No.
I was just thinking for like, yeah, I guess that works for like the laziness.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the ultimate laziness is what's her name? Like
Yeah, the main girl.
character.
Yeah, I know.
What's her name?
Um,
Kiddo. Hey kid.
What is her name? Hannah.
Hannah. It's really weird watching, like, I think that was the first time or thing I ever saw Adam Driver in, right?
Yeah.
It might have been his first big thing. I don't know.
I think it was. That's why I was so like blown away that he was picked for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he went from girls to Star Wars, and I was like,
right.
Whoa.
Because you see him like wanking off or whatever.
Right.
To, like,
he's like this deviant.
Like a super, like,
yeah.
Not to be judgy or anything, but like.
Well, he's meant to be like a aggressive, like kind of a sexual deviant, sort of a. He's just like wild in that show. Like his character is meant to be wild and unpredictable.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah. So who are you on girls?
Marnie. Yeah.
I thought you were total Shoshana.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hot like Shoshana.
Uh-huh. And hard to get.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's true.
And like I did crack and then I ran.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
That was really funny. I forgot about that. She accidentally smoked crack. She thought she was like
smoking weed. And there was like a glass crack pipe.
They kept calling it a stem and blah, blah, blah. She's like going a zillion miles an hour.
Oh, man. That was funny.
That's been kind of fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. Anyway, thank goodness for that.
That's another fun rewatch. And then, so yeah, that got me thinking like, so we have this progression, right?
Right.
Like, and so what's the new?
What's the new Sex and the City?
Sex and the City analog or whatever.
Or Golden Girls.
New version.
The original 4. Well, my vote is for Search Party. I think that's the modern Sex and the City because it's like so bizarre. And it's not all women,
That's true. Yeah. It's boy, that show is sort of a mind-blowing thing. Like that last season, I'm sure we talked about it.
We did a little bit, yeah.
But like when she, I guess, like, spoilers, if you haven't watched Search Party, you might want to like cut it here. But like when she wakes up in the 4th season and like things look like they could be normal,
right?
But they're just like slightly off. And then like within a couple minutes you find out that she is in a place that's been like totally manufactured.
She's in a felt version of her own apartment, but she's locked in like a basement. It's so fucked up.
Yeah,
dude.
Like it really kind of gave me the willies.
It did. Bit. There were definitely some times where I was like, whoa,
what if that happened to me? And then I was like,
it's like your worst.
So Shoshana.
It's your worst nightmare. I mean, like in so many ways. Yeah. So I feel like that is sort of the millennial version a little bit because, you've got the prepster, you've got the funny gay guy, you've got the actress, the cute girl, and then you've got, the main character who is like sort of a brooding, sort of doesn't know what to do with her life. And then she gets herself into all this trouble. And, I don't know. There's something about that I think is kind of true. And they live in New York. I mean, there's a lot of parallels.
Yeah.
They brunch.
Oh, they brunch.
Oh, they got their clothes. They got their fancy clothes.
That was so funny to see. Whatever it was, what's his name? The Elliot guy, or no, the blonde-haired guy in Search Party.
Oh yeah.
What's his name in the show? I can't think of it because I've seen him in so many other things recently, and
I know
names are escaping me today. But like, that was funny watching the the webisode High Maintenance thing and seeing him in there.
Yeah.
Like doing a very similar character.
Very similar character. But that guy cracks me up. He was so good on Drunk History. Like, so good.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's like one of my favorite actors, I think. At first, in Search Party, I was so like, ugh, I hate this guy. like in the first couple episodes, but oh man, totally grew on me right away.
What'd you hate about him?
Oh, he was
He was just so catty.
so so over the top catty and just like such an egomaniac, like just gross, like you know what I mean. But I loved how they turned him into that conservative
Oh my god.
news anchor. I mean,
Yeah.
it was that was an amazing thing.
It's the best.
Truly,
He's got like his own line of firearms and
truly.
stuff. Like,
So amazing, but too close to the truth, though, dude.
I
Like,
gotta hand it to
right?
the people who made that show.
Wow.
Like, if we didn't already spoil it for you, just forget it. Forget everything.
Well, even
like,
if
I'm good at this. Just it's
Yeah.
surprising enough to just go back and watch it if you can.
yeah, that's definitely like a COVID. You know, as we wait out things,
For sure.
a nice little watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to some music
Oh yeah.
recently. Yeah, my friend Jacob came over and we hung out on the patio.
Nice.
Social distanced, and like I don't know, it's weird how sometimes like I've listened to the new or the most current like Strokes album.
Right.
I've also listened to the most current, even though it's from like 2019, Vampire Weekend album.
Yeah.
And like I kind of forgot about the Strokes one, because it's just like if you have one of these streaming things, like it's so easy to just like add something in and then forget to listen to it.
Totally.
Or you listen to it once, don't really take it in. Maybe it's like in the wrong context or whatever,
Right.
and then you forget. Anyway, we were just hanging out and listening to it, and he played a couple songs off of each of those records for me, and I was like, holy shit, this is really good. Like, this is way better than I remember.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So it's weird how, I was thinking about this today, it's weird how there's something to the, like the communal aspect of like listening to music or somebody playing a song for you that they think is cool and then like talking about it.
That's true.
That really like enhances the experience.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, and so I've been listening to that Strokes album, which is very good, and then it made me remember that they played on SNL. And what's even like more stupid about me not listening to it is I remember thinking, "Oh wow, that was really good," you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so that led me down like the rabbit hole of other SNL performances because I was like, "Well, what else did I miss or whatever?"
Yeah.
And we've been talking about, well, you know, part of our new segment each week is Song of the Week.
Right.
It's not like some revolutionary thing that we've never done before. But, you know, we have the COVID-19 rejects.
That's the playlist that didn't make it to the original COVID-19 playlist. If you missed that, it's in season 4.
Yeah.
It's season 3, excuse me.
Which we did 19 weeks of. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, that I can't remember why, but we were talking the other night and remembering some of the like mid 20 teens SNL performances by Arcade Fire, who have a few tracks or one track in the COVID-19 mix rejects, right?
Yeah.
And so we rewatched Reflektor and Afterlife, or whatever, and those are real good.
Those are real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole cool like light and dark theme or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we kind of decided that those are the twin pair like songs of the week this week.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to pick two because they either complement each other so well or because they represent, you know, both sides of the same thing. And I think this is one of those times. And it's also like Afterlife is obviously like sort of meant to be like the light side, right? The sort of like
which is weird because like Afterlife is like, okay, you're dead.
Right. But I think for them it's like heaven. Right. It's sort of a play on.
You think they're religious?
I don't know. I can't really tell. I think that if they're not now, they probably were brought up religious. But
oh yeah, I think I remember reading about like the lead singer guy, the Win Butler, going to some like maybe either like religious boarding school or college or something, like in Texas maybe, or something. I don't remember for sure, but something that I didn't really expect.
Yeah, but I could see it through their lyrics, and there's a lot of that sort of like language in there.
Yeah.
But and Reflektor is the dark because it's sort of like the looking inside, right? Looking in yourself. And anyway, they had this extremely cool like set, and they actually had costume changes in between
Great lighting.
their sets. Yeah, on SNL. So in one episode, which is a little bit unusual, to change that much stuff in a half hour or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have like 1 million people in their band, and they obviously had like totally custom outfits, and there was like a lot of thought that went into it, and it was sort of like performance art in a way. Which, I really love a good theme.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know this about me?
Did you notice? Did you notice what?
I mean, talk to me about a theme and I can get really excited about that.
So how do those songs relate to COVID for you? Like, why did we pick Afterlife for the rejects list? I think it almost made it to a main episode.
Yeah, it almost did.
But it's sort of a little bit grim, maybe a little bit like on the nose, because it's like, well, yeah, 500,000 people are dead or something like that. Is that?
Yeah, that's right. I think that is part of it. Like Afterlife, there's a lot of death, right? That's happened this year for everybody, but also just in the sense of like, things plans, right? Your plans sometimes die. Certain things that you have in mind. Like, so there is sort of this idea, I think I kind of subscribe to this, where it's like, you have this certain plan and then things go askew and you think, well, in my next life, I'll do this. And that's sort of the afterlife. What happens after a certain point in your life, kind of does feel like an afterlife. It's sort of like you're changing it up enough to where you're starting over in a way.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, I don't know. I guess it can take on a lot of meanings depending on what you're thinking about. But like, so there's just like afterlife, like, okay, this is the time after your life.
Right.
Or there's this religious concept of the afterlife.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's...
Does it relate to you for COVID in some way? The afterlife idea?
No, not really, because I don't even know if I necessarily believe in any kind of afterlife or whatever. Like, who knows, right? But it seems like you're probably just in the ground, like laying there, going fuck.
Right. Well,
Wouldn't that be weird if there was an afterlife, but it was just you like laying in a box, going, like that's actually hell to me because I have a fear of being buried alive. Like, watching Kill Bill 2, where she gets like buried alive, and then escapes. Like, seriously, when I saw that in the theater, like I broke out in a sweat.
Yeah, you like had a full panic.
I couldn't watch. I had to I was so fucking freaked out. Oh my god! And then when it finally cuts back to like after she is like successfully trained with Oren, what's his name? Pai Mei. And learned how to fucking like break boards with her fists and all this shit. Like when it goes back to that, like I felt like I couldn't breathe or something. Like
right.
I was choking. I was like suffocating underground until she like started doing the crazy like 1-inch punch and then like somehow punches up, through like 6 feet of...
She's lifted through the ground. She defied physics. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. That's what that ancient mystical, like, Eastern martial arts training will do for you, though.
Wow, I should have stuck with it.
Wink.
Yeah, I know, right? So I think like Reflektor, though, on the other side of this, the dark part of this song choice is that relates to COVID, and that COVID in the United States anyway is kind of a reflection of where we all are at, and it's not good. It's like, as Americans, to look in the mirror, it's kind of a bummer, like we've really this has really exposed how unhelpful, uncooperative, and selfish I think we are as a whole.
It's definitely like exposed some issues.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that album came out in like 2015 maybe or something, and I think maybe it was talking more about like the trappings of like modern life
Sure.
and social media and fame and
Yeah.
like, if like star fuckers and whatever, like
Yeah. Totally.
I don't even know what was that. Oh yeah, there's all these star fuckers.
And
But
who is that
like
again?
like internet famous people and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean not star children, but star fuckers?
Star children.
Right.
Yeah. But
But it's taken on a new meaning. Is that kind of where you're going with that?
I think so.
I think so too. I mean, geez Louise, like America looking in the mirror is pretty gross right now. Or maybe forever. But it just seems particularly bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, humanity. Just looking in the mirror, like you're gonna see some ugly things.
Yes.
I don't think it's like necessarily. I think we've got a pretty strong brand of it.
Yeah.
As United States peoples and citizens and whatever, but like
Yeah.
there's a lot that we don't like to see when we
See
when
ourselves.
when we see ourselves in the mirror.
Mhm.
We don't like what we're looking at
Yeah.
a lot of times, and it's just a reflector, man.
Well, it's very obvious now if it wasn't before. So, the other thing I like about this band, and like Arcade Fire, I didn't really do it for me when they first came out for some reason. Like I kind of liked their single, but I really didn't like buy an album, listen to an album for a long time. But I really like, I like this album, and I like the one that has Modern Man. And I listen to that a lot. And I like everything now too, but it is very, very dark. And I can't always listen to it, but if I'm in the right mood, I can. But they also, the thing that kind of gets me about them is that they have so many dang people in their band. Like, they have like 15 people.
I know. We were thinking about that. Like, so I guess, so hopefully if you have like 50 people in your band, you can charge a lot more.
Yeah, because it's like a spectacle.
When you play a gig, but like,
I
remember like, so when I was in, not that this matches up in any way, but like when I was playing with Slam and Patrick, like, or with Slam and Jono when I played drums, like there were 3 of us.
Right.
So it made the split like pretty good.
Right.
Or whatever. I think Slam was getting most of it.
Of course.
And getting like rooms and stuff like that. But like, and then I remember when Mackenzie started coming back and like sitting in, we were like, shit.
Splitting it 4 ways.
It was great. that he was there, and the music was like, it made the music like way more fun. But there was also sort of a little like money friction there.
Yep. So I was like, how can you split this money between 15 people?
Yeah.
Do you have to charge 5 times more?
Yeah. And how much does the guy get paid who's just like hitting tom like
or playing a tambourine or something?
Like, is there a sliding scale with like, okay, well this,
I'd love to know.
Did maybe that person like wrote the riff to the song or something,
yeah, see?
Because a bunch of them are like pretty talented, like multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, I think they're all talented, and I think they all should get paid, but it's just like, how do you do it with that many people? It's like an orchestra.
I think they did get paid.
Well, plus, you've got like Hollywood superstars in the band, like Eric Stoltz and and that lady from
Donnell Logue.
Yeah, and what's that? Oh, Parker Posey on keyboards,
aka Dr. Smith from Lost in Space,
and John Early from Search Party is the lead singer. So
yeah.
There's that too. So that probably increased the costs.
Those guys, yeah, I bet their quote is pretty hefty. So it is impressive, like to be able to maintain like a thriving Hollywood career. At the same time, you're in like a very well known like traveling. Like popular pop, they're not really pop,
they're like alternative rock,
but yeah, like a rock band,
yeah, or
whatever. That's
that's
pretty famous, that like David Bowie introduced to the world at the 2005 like Fashion Awards for VH1 or whatever. You remember that?
That was pretty epic. I loved those Fashion Awards. I really am sad that they don't exist anymore.
Is there even VH1 anymore?
I have no idea. I'll tell you.
But there is MTV.
There is MTV. Isn't it? It's doing me at in. Yeah. So.
Is that where you were going?
That's where I'm going. How'd you know? It's like you read my mind.
Yeah, man. It's like between night and dawn, between realms, the living and the dead, man.
Oh, that was so deep, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
I won't try to read it in French, but that's what that lady, that's what Parker Posey sings in. That's Reflektor, right?
That's Reflektor, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, speaking of light and dark and future and past and opposites, I love opposites. The tension of opposites.
Yeah, your favorite song for many years was "Opposites Attract" by Paula Abdul and Young MC or whatever. Is that who it was?
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
Right, with that
sure.
cool the cool cat in the animated video.
No, that really wasn't my favorite. Even as a kid, I was like, "Oh, that's dumb." You know how I am about cartoons.
How does that even relate to anything? Why did I say that?
Opposites attract.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
How are we opposites again?
Well, I mean, you're a man and I'm a woman. That's a starting point, right?
Okay. Check.
Check. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to expand on that.
Okay. Well, I was just going to talk about the show that we're watching on MTV. Is that cool?
Grip it and rip it.
Oh man, you gotta tell me twice. So,
little tin cup quote for you.
So, like, you guys remember The Real World from like 92?
You remember?
Do you guys remember? If you do remember, that means you're old like us.
Remember how there used to not be a real world?
Like, there used to not even be reality TV, and we were just talking about this. Real World was the first show, but I didn't even realize it was a new thing. I was just like, oh, okay. This is on. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love this. Like, this is
fun.
Were you like, I love this?
I was reluctant to love it at first because, I at that time was too smart and too good for anything that was fun. Like Wayne's World, Nirvana, rock and roll, anything basically that could be cool. I was way too good for that.
But you weren't even won over by the mega babe Eric Nies?
Not at first.
Like rollerblading through New York City.
At first I was like, who's this?
Shirtless.
Total poser. Like, give me a break. No, I thought he was very cheesy. I thought like
He was a kid.
Yeah, he was just dumb. And but after, a couple episodes, they all kind of started to grow on me. And yes, I did, of course. Of course I had a crush on Eric Nies. Who didn't? Hello.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you only take your shirt off so many times before they're like, this is the hot person you're supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so then I got totally into it, but I still didn't think it was any big deal. I wasn't like, this show's revolutionary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, it just was like, of course, like people in New York are interesting. So yeah, they're going to make a show about them.
It's like they've never done anything like this before. Like the only other thing I can think of that might be similar would be like a talent show.
Yeah.
Like what was that one? Like
Star Search
or something. Yeah. Where you would see like real people, and they would be like interviewed, and then they would go out and like
do their thing.
Whoa, like sing some crazy opera shit or something. And everybody be like, whoa.
Well, that and then
Britney Spears or something,
exactly.
Right? Or whatever.
I watched a lot of fashion shows and like Fashion File, and there was a lot of that documentary style, like behind the scenes, doing these like kind of candid.
Crawford like smoking cigarettes and like doing her eyeliner or something like
totally.
that. And, like,
so this just seemed like a natural progression, I guess, or something to that.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. So like supermodels backstage, and, like they're walking around and like changing their clothes and stuff, like
totally.
You might see like some side boob, or it might get like
you might even see that blurred out boob. Actually, you know what? Fashion File got away with like full toplessness because it was
fashion.
It was fashion, yeah. You could have boobs out on that show.
Boobs out.
It's my kind of show.
Yeah.
So, and then there was also House of Style was out at that time. And then like Unzipped came out, and that was a documentary too that was about kind of unscripted. So there was
about wieners?
No, it was about fashion.
Oh, okay.
You watched it, you ding dong.
I did.
With Isaac Mizrahi?
Oh yeah. That's right. That was good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Was that where
and
he's doing that Nanook of the North
Yeah.
thing and all that? Okay.
yeah. Yeah, there was that, and then what else came out in 92? I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was kind of like new for its time
Yeah.
in 92.
Like I think that's when Nirvana hit
Yeah.
with like Smells Like Teen Spirit and
Yep.
all
So
that.
it was like a kind of a crazy time, but I think like being a 12-year-old, I wasn't like super aware of it. I was just kind of like, what are all these dumb teenagers doing?
But then within 2 episodes, you're like, "This is my life."
Yeah,
man.
totally.
But yeah, I mean, I watched it. I
Yeah.
watched the whole thing and loved it.
Yeah.
You know, and because I guess like I don't know, I think I didn't realize how unique and different and cool it was until like maybe the second season, like L.A. or maybe
Right.
even the third one, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Puck and
Oh yeah, that got pretty tense.
yeah, and what was the guy who ended up dying of
Pedro.
AIDS? Pedro.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Pedro. Yeah, but I remember. I think I was basically my life then was like playing soccer, playing guitar, and watching MTV's The Real World. And like videos or whatever.
That's still better than my life was. Jeez.
Yeah.
My life consisted of watching TV and going to school. And then that was it.
Did you get to like eat ice cream or anything like that?
Oh, sure. I ate all the ice cream I could hold.
Oh, that reminds me of the Girls episode we were watching last night, and Adam Driver's character is like says that ice cream is like cold mucus
Yeah.
or sweet mucus. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking gross. Like,
And then you're like, that's something you would say. I was like, oh, that's probably
which is
true.
like the same like sort of attitude you would take with like when you first watched, The Real World or something.
True.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like a similar vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not easily
born
convinced.
to judge, bud.
Yeah. Ding.
Anyway, why the fuck are we talking about The Real World?
Because there's a new show with the same people.
In the same loft.
And it's still called The Real World, but it's called Homecoming.
Real World Homecoming.
I'm like, I read about this in the New York Times. I thought at first it was a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way they're going to get these people on there again. And like, anyway, we're watching it.
Yeah. So far, there's 3
We're
episodes.
totally into it.
I mean, yeah, I'm like,
It's pretty fascinating, honestly.
yeah.
Because
I'm into it.
it's like before and after. And it's like all this shit has happened. And of course, they're 30 years older.
Yeah. You can tell there's still like bullshit shenanigans and stuff with like, like the producers and blah, blah, blah. And
yes.
manufacturing like,
scenarios.
Disagreements and scenarios
Did you
and
see
stuff.
they had cue cards?
No.
Yeah, somebody had it like sitting like on their blanket or whatever that they had on the couch, and they were kind of playing with it, and they like flipped it up, and there was like words, like it was a cue card.
Words.
I was like,
Or
okay,
something.
so they're definitely giving them direction, obviously, just like they did the first time around. But it's just kind of funny they're a little sloppier this time.
Yeah, but it's almost like I mean, not. I don't know. It's weird to like fan out about a genre of TV or a show or whatever to this degree. I guess that's what this.
That's what we do, man.
That's what we do, man.
We're Gen X.
What else are we supposed to do? But it feels like this weird like full circle like with reality TV where it's like it almost erases all the like crazy bullshit of the last 30 years, with like Survivor and like
America's
whatever.
Got Talent.
Yeah, what's the one where is the fiance? Or
The Bachelor.
The fiance.
The fiance. Oh, I used to watch The Bachelor when that thing first came out. I was so into it for like 2 seasons.
I mean, I think people are still
terrible.
rabidly watching The Bachelor and talking about it.
I hate it now, though. I can't. I loved Top Model when it first came out. I mean,
sure,
I was all about reality TV for a while.
There were some good ones, too.
There was some good ones. But I think it's really interesting to see this. If nothing else, is like we're kind of in a similar situation politically and racially, all these things that we were in 92. So it's weird, but it's kind of like good to reflect, I think.
Yeah. It's just a reflector, man.
It is just a reflector,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like art reflecting life and life reflecting art, man.
And the future reflecting the past.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, but it's all contrived and not actually real. So, because those people would have never lived together otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was funny to think about the stuff that they talked about, like, that we didn't even know then, where there's just like, we didn't know what the show was. Well, of course they didn't, right?
Right.
But, like, they were just a group of artists and, like, performers or whatever that they brought together. And, like, what's her name? The kind of, like, hip-hop lady rapper. Heather.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I mean, well, yeah. So I get to go to New York and, like, live for free for, like, however many weeks.
And
or
get
whatever,
featured on
and
TV.
be on TV.
And, like, feature my music.
Like,
and
this could seriously
Yeah.
launch a career here.
Right.
And it's funny to see, like, how those people's lives have changed and what they've done. And, like, Eric Nies is, like, of course, like, had a pretty crazy career, like, after that, like, into the late 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, kind of crashed and burned and then kind of turned into, like, a spiritual guru
Right.
or something.
Like
But
a
he's
total
like,
hippie.
he's, like, so cool.
Yeah.
He seems like it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
like the best dude.
He seems very cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody liked him anyway. Right. He's a very likable character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's like the...
Maybe they didn't like him when he was, like, chugging vodka and, like, vomiting everywhere. Or
Probably
something. He might
not.
have gotten into some trouble.
There's probably some dark times in there, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Doing,
but
like, gallons of blow or something like that.
something went terribly wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just the Hollywood days turning into Hollywood nights, man.
That's right.
So what are you going to do?
And it's like sometimes you just got to bug out and head to your bug out pad and Taos and, like,
That's true.
put on all the, like, make sure all the crystals have recharged in the moonlight.
Oh, I'm always
you have all of
monitoring that.
your like turquoise.
And your onyx beads and
That's right.
all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to introduce another segment to the show.
Oh,
a
yeah.
new segment in addition to our Song of the Week. Now we've had Babe Words, right?
Yeah.
And we've got Babe Hot Tracks. Okay. So now our new segment is going to be the Babe BOLO.
The Babe BOLO.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah. Be on the lookout. Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of an APB.
Low. Yeah. So be on the lookout. We like to, like, keep our audience, like, up to date on any kind of, like, threats, concerns, or even just be on the lookout for something cool,
Yeah.
right? But this week it's not something cool at all.
It's a Babe BOLO
Okay, so
for
this week it's Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Okay.
BOLO.
I want you all to be on the lookout for this asshole. All right. Because, like, we are already onto this. Okay, but then we watched this week tonight? Last week tonight? What's that show
Yeah,
called?
the John Oliver.
Okay. John Oliver's last week tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, today, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he had this whole segment about how
Tucker.
dangerous Tucker Carlson is as an influential, like, media person.
Yeah.
I happen to totally agree. But we were already kind of onto this whole thing because of watching The Lady in the Dale.
Yeah.
And in that documentary, they have Tucker Carlson's dad. His name's Dick, by the way. Like, it's very appropriate.
Richard Carlson.
And his whole thing was, like, just being the worst.
Was, like, exposing, like, what's her name? The lady in the Dale. The
Yeah,
lady.
exposing transgender people and calling them out and basically saying that they're criminals because they're trying to, like, masquerade as other people. And I just saw
Even though
this
she was
crazy
actually a criminal.
She was, but that
there
wasn't
was, like,
why.
an extra element to, like, the vindictiveness, like, that.
Yes.
That Dick Carlson, with which he, like, pursued
Oh, yeah.
this person.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, there's nothing wrong with reporting crimes. And this was part of this documentary. The story of The Lady in the Dale was her crimes. But the fact that she was transgender was really kind of a side note to the whole story of like this car company and all the stuff that happened with that.
Yeah,
But this guy, he made that the main story.
totally.
And kind of like turned it around and made it seem like this was why she was a criminal or whatever.
Yeah, it's not. It's like if you were just to pay attention to that reporting, it would be less important that this person like had felony arrest warrants like
Yeah.
in a rap sheet a mile long or whatever, and was like actively defrauding people out of their cash or whatever.
It was like a hustle.
But the important thing was that this person has different kind of tackle.
Yeah,
this
man is masquerading as a woman, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure part of that was like the times and stuff.
It was partly the times, but he really just like had like an obsession or something with this topic, which of course always leads me to believe that something about that really rings true for them, or if they find it threatening for some reason because maybe, I don't know, maybe Dick Carlson likes to wear ladies' underpants. Who knows, right?
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that, but apparently
there's something wrong with being a total asshole to like a whole group of people for really like no reason.
Definitely.
So
be on the lookout.
Because this Tucker Carlson comes from a long line of just total assholes.
And by being on the lookout, we don't mean watching his show on Fox News.
Please don't do that.
If you can help it.
Yeah, please avoid it. I mean, apparently some white supremacists watch it for talking points. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That learning that on John Oliver kind of surprised me a little bit.
I mean,
I guess it shouldn't have.
Yeah. If I see that guy, I'm gonna like throw some of those like Batman things, those little like pokey things.
Scooby snacks?
Yeah.
Oh no,
like those little like
batarang.
Yeah, around his ankles. If I see him, I'll be like, oh, there he is.
Take him down, man. BOLO.
Yeah.
Bring him into the station.
Bring him into the
Bat Cave.
Yes. For questioning.
Yeah.
Why are you like this? What is wrong with you?
Just force him to hang out with like a bunch of black people and trans people.
I'll just take him to a drag show or something. That'll be his punishment.
It'll be the best night of your life, Tucker Carlson.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
We know you already
cry.
do. Anyway, that's our BOLO. So
yes.
I want you to also be on the lookout for a new menu item at Taco Bell. You want to talk about that?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't? You don't want to talk about the queso lupa?
Oh, man. I mean, it's just going to make me want one.
Is it a cheesy loop?
No, I think like it's a singer, right? Like she has that really hot track. like Queso Lupa or whatever.
You mean
like what's the song?
Dua Lipa?
Yeah,
wow,
no.
I'm getting so confused.
No. Queso Lupa. Okay.
Oh, this is a
different singer.
A delicious Taco Bell menu item, but I don't know what it is. What is it supposed to be? Is it food?
Well, a chalupa is like sort of like, that kind of soft like flour like
tortilla.
It's almost like a pita.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Type thing. Like, so this is a chalupa, which is like that, right? But I think it might also have a hard shell in it. And so there's like queso cheese, like the nacho cheese, like kind of impregnated inside of the...
Yeah. I'm describing this in the most disgusting way.
When you talk about a menu item, you definitely want to talk about how it's impregnated with
disgusting.
queso. There's nothing more appetizing than that as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
So, double BOLO.
Yeah, and if at Taco Bell, if you're listening, we've got a new tagline for your restaurant.
What?
Impregnated with queso. Isn't that gross?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I would say mission accomplished, my darling.
Yes, my darling.
Yes.
Yes.
And I am on the lookout for another one of these delicious bear juice dark necessities beverages.
Speaking of dark.
Yeah.
Dark and light. Dark necessities.
So dark and delicious.
So definitely like a necessity.
Dark, drunk, and delicious. Triple D.
I could do this all day.
I could do this all day.
All day.
Well, babe, if I'm going to do something all day with somebody, it's going to be you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, babe. Love you.
Love you, babe.